Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunterman, and this is Art of Rally. I did that a little out of order. I'm a little out of sorts today. That's fine. 1969. We're still on damage level default, and I have done things that I thought would really damage the vehicle, so... I kind of like this vehicle. Afternoon dirt. 7.4 miles. That is not a small length. That is the longest singular length. Actually, that's entirely the length of the entire previous rally in one stage. For anybody curious, my favorite rally game of all time, well, it continues to be Top Gear Rally 2. Slow down up the hill so I can make the turn. Was I redlining for a second there? I thought I heard a beep beep. Alright, we in this to win this. But if we make just third place, that'll probably be fine. What the hell, never mind. Just drive straight at the rock. That'll be great. Speaking of driving straight at the rock, didn't need that sign anyway. Hey, Ecstasy, what's up? Hope you're having a good one today. Hope you're having a much better one than I'm having. And not because of this game. This game is actually quite enjoyable. I've had a rough morning. I hear beeping. I'm concerned I have a break somewhere that I have damaged the vehicle. No, that's too far! That's gonna reset me. No! Good, thanks for asking. Nice. It's good to see you back now and again. I was planning on playing Fallout 4 today, and I might get to it, but had to turn everything into kind of a self-care situation. Reach 150 kilometers per hour. That's water, isn't it? Yep. That'll mess up my electronics. Whoop, fishtail, fishtail, fishtail. Bug in my face. I blame it. I blame Bug. Are the fires under control yet where you are, Ecstasy? Oh no, more water. Fires are over. Well, that's good. We had a sudden torrential rain today. That was very unnerving. The sky opened up and just started dropping buckets of water. We had 60-mile-per-hour winds. The barn out back is actually turned over. Like, completely on its side. So, we're hoping insurance covers that. Because, you know, climate change, it's being kind of fucky. As far as we can tell, none of the cats were inside at the time it happened, so that's good. Especially the one cat that always resides there. Bug is bugging me. Oh, there was a hill there I couldn't see. There was a hill there I couldn't see. Get off me, Bug! You're gonna make me blow into the microphone. I don't want to do that. I believe that is the finish line. It is. Wow, that was a long one. I appreciate that. Alright. Moved up the leaderboard apparently. And my stage was... Alright, we got 3 stages. Afternoon and Dirt. Doesn't say what... Yoink? Doesn't say what stage 3 will be. Do you hear that GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas were getting remastered editions? I did hear that. But I haven't played through all of the editions that I bought for PlayStation 4 yet. So... they will have to be substantial for me to have bought San Andreas a 4th time. I am interested, don't get me wrong. If they're like, yeah, remastered editions of all 3 games with like 4K resolutions and ray tracing and 60 FPS and all this stuff for like $30, I'll be like, I'm gonna ask for that for Christmas, you know? But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it's what it turns out to be. Because there hasn't been, for example, a version of San Andreas that precisely matches the PlayStation 2 original game since it came out. The PlayStation 4 version is kind of sort of based on PlayStation 2 code, but I forget exactly what's wrong with it. I think it's that it doesn't have as good a res distance and stuff like that. The 360 version has higher resolution and is even playing better in backwards compatibility mode because of Xbox back compatibility awesomeness. Whoa, 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 whoa. And, but its lighting is incorrect, I believe, and it is actually based upon putting controller to the mobile port versions of the game, which is why the interface is kind of scrolly and stuff like that. I mean, they could do a new game besides doing 3 remastered games, right? It's a lot cheaper to do the remastered games. You have to remember that not only has Grand Theft Auto 5 made, like, the most money of any video game ever, it also cost the most money of any game ever to make. Now, granted, they have basically infinite money, as far as that's concerned, for the purposes of creating a Grand Theft Auto 6, so money up front is not really the issue for them. But I suspect... well, I can't even suspect. You know, years ago I would have suspected that they were working on Grand Theft Auto 6 in the background. But I can't suspect that anymore. Because Rockstar put out, like, what, 2 games in the last generation? Like, 2 games. No, wait, no they didn't. Grand Theft Auto 5 isn't a last gen game. It's a previous generation game. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on 360 and PS3. That's the version I actually bought. It's the version I own. Well, one of the 2 versions I own, because one of the versions came with my PlayStation 4. So I actually have the 360 and PlayStation 4 game. But if I'm being totally honest, what's that? Good drivers have dead flies? What? What'd that say? Spend 5 minutes sliding? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on Grand Theft Auto anymore. I was gonna play it on Xbox for the sake of argument. Those are really distracting. I can't read that. What did that achievement say? Because, you know, it's a series I've really, really enjoyed, but in the amount of time that they've been running with Grand Theft Auto 5, they previously put out like 5 games I really liked in the same amount of time earlier than that. 1 second, I have a hairpin, or not a hairpin, a right angle. A double right angle, actually. I just realized I can see the course from where I came down there. That's neat. 1 year ago, something Rockstar was looking at cinematic makers. Well, as one does. I don't imagine... Rockstar is, you know, very much in it a lot for the money at this point, because they never came out with the promised story DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. And they never expanded the game world. Grand Theft Auto 5 does an amazing amount of stuff now, to be clear. Wait, hold on, I made it up to second? No, I didn't. What's Hunterman 1%? What's Hunterman 1%? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I will say, if they do multiple characters for Grand Theft Auto 6, if that is a game that is going to exist... Wait, hold on, did that say I need to repair? Mount Kenya. If they're going to have multiple characters for a game like Grand Theft Auto 6, then I'm basically going to have to demand they have a woman as a main character. Like, it's absurd. Not only did they have 3 main characters for Grand Theft Auto 5, all of them were guys. Completely missed opportunity. If they do that shit again in Grand Theft Auto 6, I'm going to innately be uninterested. 6.7 miles on dirt. I don't know why it doesn't say what time of day there. There was rumors about the main character being a woman. Well, good. No repairs made. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes? Wait, where was I supposed to repair? Did I need to repair? Did you not... I hear my engine backfiring. I didn't... Oh, I'm sorry, that's my muffler. I'm backfiring either way. I saw the repair icon, but I didn't know what to do with it. You didn't give me that tutorial, game. Oh, I'm sorry. Is the sun going down? Like, I hope the main character is a woman. It'd be really nice if they were a minority. It'd be really nice. And not some, like... Not some lady actually named Karen to kind of, like, say that, no, this Karen knows what she's doing, this is one of the good ones type thing, like a satire. Like, no, let's not do that. Like, let's not have just a white woman if we can avoid it. There's probably going to be severe Karen comparisons anyway. Not to mention the toxicity of the video game industry against women anyway. But there was a bad rumor, too. GTA 6 will be based in the 80s. We are the future, but they are making a 80s-based game. That's ridiculous. Okay, look you. Okay. The 80s are pretty far away at this point, but Grand Theft Auto Vice City was amazing. okay? Its art style was amazing. Its characters and story was a massive upgrade over Grand Theft Auto 3. And you know what? Also in defense of the 80s, Far Cry Blood Dragon is an amazing game. It's an amazing game, and it's a lot to do with its style. If you just boiled down its gameplay, it's just more Far Cry. But you took it in as a 80s action movie style endeavor, Far Cry Blood Dragon is freaking phenomenal. And that is purely 80s shenanigans. Like, there's nothing wrong with setting the game in a different time period. I mean, besides, if you set it in a modern time period, do you really expect Rockstar Games to properly satirize what is essentially like their version of the Trump administration, followed by the United States president causing like more than 500,000 American deaths directly? Like, do you expect them to like tackle that? It fucking bug in my face. There is yeah, it is like 40 years ago now. I agree. But I don't know. For all we know, what you're thinking of would actually be a flashback. Right? You could have someone my age, a burned out progressive millennial, whose story starts like almost Bully style, but in the 1980s. Speaking of which, where's Bully 2? Can we get Bully 2? I'd rather have Bully 2 than GTA 6 at this point. Fucking bug! In my face! I'm gonna have to ask the owners of this residence to move the outside trash bins away from my window. I really can't just... Whoops. I really can't swat at it right now. I'm driving a rally game here, bug. Go away. Why only bother me when I'm streaming? Not that I want you to bother me other times. Let me ask you, actually, Ecstasy. The 80s are before your time, right? Like before you were born? Alright. That wasn't the case as much when Vice City originally came out. When Vice City came out, the 80s was like the time in which a lot of people playing GTA were born. And that was like 20-ish years ago. So yeah, it's a bigger deal. Like, you know, it'd be really weird actually. The equivalent to right now, whoa, that would have been really bad. The equivalent right now would have been like if you made GTA 6 set in the early 2000s, which would be weird for me as a old person. I remember when I was visiting my grandma a few months ago. That is a big tree. When I was visiting my grandma a few months ago, she was like, "Well, Sue, I can't remember things. I'm old." And my mom was like, "Shh, whatever. We all have problems because I'm old too." And I was like, "Well, both of you are not in luck because it turns out I am also old." And Grandma's like, "You're not old." I'm like, "Grandma, I'm about to be 40. Everybody at this table is old. They're just different gradients of how old." Alright, so I made it to third. Oh, but I was only 3 seconds off from first, or from second. Well, actually, no, that is first. I was 3 seconds off of first. And the fourth place was 1:20 behind me. I wonder if that's because I raced a broken car. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I mean, you know, it's it's getting harder and harder to get invested in game series that don't show any signs of improvement. I will have to see Grand Theft Auto 6 running to have an opinion. How to achieve the aerodynamics of a low sports car space for 4 people, but put the engine in the trunk. Some people doubted and others laughed. But despite this unconventional layout, the 119i victories proved the rear was not a bad place for an engine to be. Interesting. Unlock bonus livery for the Meanie. Oh, camo Meanie. Oh, camo that for the Pebble. Alright, this one says 4 stages. So for everybody who's watching later on YouTube, I thank you for watching. This has been Art of Rally, presented by Improvision Entertainment. I have been Huntermun, and I will see you in the future.